Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm reporting to you live right here from our home in Tennessee to tell you that the other day my wife and I were sitting around doing as we do during the holiday season and watching some of our favorite holiday films. You know, some of the classics like Love Actually and a very merry Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas, you know, just the real heart of the holiday season type films. And my wife looked over at me and she said, you know, I've really got to watch something that's a little down to earth, wholesome, just classic, cheesy Christmas film. And so we got on the Netflix for a little bit of Netflixing. And I happen to remember that Dolly Parton had made a new Christmas film this year. So we clicked onto Dolly Parton's Christmas at the Square, and I am about to give you my own personal review of this film. Now, it is as cheesy and rhinestone flared as you can imagine anything that Dolly Parton would do. When I stepped into this movie, I was not fully prepared for the fact that it was a entire song and dance routine through the whole thing. I mean, it was, you know, two lines over for it to have been considered a country rock opera. And now I'm going to warn y'all the same way that I did my dad when I called him and I said, Dad, you got to watch Dolly's Christmas on the Square. It is hands down the cheesiest film that I have ever seen. It was poorly acted. It was just, you know, bad in the best way possible. And I don't feel like I'm hurting Dolly at all by saying any of these things because I think that's probably how she would describe it herself. But let me tell you that I cried for a solid 2 hours. And I mean, had to pause this movie while literal tears were turning into icicles on my cheeks as I just wept through this entire cheesy film. And I'm going to tell you, it's not just because Dolly is a literal angel, Christmas angel in this film, coming around, making all kinds of Christmas miracles happen. It's not just because it literally condenses all of the best parts of every great Christmas movie from, you know, classic Ebenezer Scrooge type stuff, and It's a Wonderful Life, and all I mean, just it borrows from all of the greats. But it's so representative, and it is so in your face, and it's all about this, you know, mean, mega wealthy person who's coming in to steal the entire town and evict everybody, and there's a massive protest, and all that kinds of stuff is great. And it's not just because the main character is a very dashing bearded priest, and it solidified my belief that Dolly Parton has as equal big of a crush on me as I do on her. It wasn't any of those things that made me truly love this film. What really got me right in the gut was, you know, what I have missed as a result of the pandemic this holiday season? I've missed, and whether you're a person of faith or not, you know, when your parents drag you to church on Christmas Eve and you go to church and you're sitting there and it's all glittered up and all that kinds of stuff, and the volunteer choir director has written an entire Christmas musical extravaganza front to back, and all of the people from the church are in there, and there's a horrible set, and all of a sudden it's just full of Christmas spirit and goodwill towards man and all of that kinds of stuff. Dolly Parton somehow, in the magic and whimsy of who she is as a person, was able to pack all of that cheese and all of that goodwill and all of that love and all of that feeling into this movie. It literally feels like you're sitting there on an uncomfortable church pew, watching a bunch of volunteer actors on poorly painted sets explain to you why the Christmas season really matters. And that's caring about people, giving to those who are in need, and loving your neighbor. And that is what this movie was. It is just pure, wholesome Christmas cheese poured on a beautiful cracker in a way that only Dolly Parton can serve it to you. So I'm telling you right now, if you're sitting at home and you are alone and you are sad because you are pandemic quarantining right now, and even though you don't normally go to church and you don't normally, and this isn't a preachy movie, by the way, it isn't. I'm just drawing from my own personal experience here. But I'm telling you, if you are sitting at home and you are lonely and you wish that you could be shoved in there with your entire family watching the, greatest Christmas story ever told as presented by children in plaster opera costumes, this is that. And it is wonderful. And you are going to bawl your eyeballs out. So right now, go and watch it. It is the best thing that has ever happened to Christmas since the birth of Jesus, I swear to you. So I hope you enjoyed it, or do enjoy it as much as I did. If you didn't, you are wrong, and you will be visited by 3 ghosts this evening. So have a nice Christmas. I love y'all, and be safe, and wear a mask.